Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Elisa Sandoval, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. How are we doing today, guys? Well, hope everybody's having a great week. Alright guys, today is one of the topics that it's to help you guys, whoever's going through this procedure, kind of guide you. This channel is to help others that are going through the same situation that I went through, and hopefully you can learn. Okay, so I live in California, and in California we do tend to get a lot of help from the government. Like if you're going through a transition and you apply for like insurance, they can help you out if you qualify for it. I do recommend trying at least to see if you qualify. If not, there are some insurances that are willing to work with you, and I do recommend that if you're transitioning, from either from male to female, female to male, do your research. I do recommend Blue Cross, Anthem Blue Cross. Their insurance is what has helped me the most. They play a big role in my life because they're the ones that financially helped me with my surgeries. They're the ones that were in charge of, approving the surgeries. If those surgeries were already approved and the insurance declines it, there was no way I would have been able to start this, or at least not now. So you have to kind of go through like a whole procedure, and the insurance has to approve it. So it does. I would say that insurance is the number one. From my advice, the number one tip you should always try to look out for: insurance. Always get insurance first, or do your research wherever you're living at, if it qualifies for certain surgeries in your transition, or because I know, like, if you don't qualify for like Medi-Cal, or you get like Anthem Blue Cross, I know Anthem Blue Cross can help you cover, but it does not cover the whole surgery. It only covers, I believe, half, or at least a percentage, more than half, I think, of the surgery. I'm not sure because I had Medi-Cal, so Medi-Cal really helped me with all the procedures. All right, so in order for you to start your transition, you must go through a psychologist. It is very important, and it plays a big role on a transition. You have to go with the psychologist because he's going to give you a letter whether you are allowed to proceed, or he either denies it or approves it. And I had to go with the psychologist for about 3 to 4 years, and I'm still going with him because he helps me a lot. But in order for you to start like your hormone procedure, or you do name change, you have to have proof that this is what you really need. And the only person can do that is a psychologist and a psychiatrist. Now, I was lucky enough to kind of have somebody guide me through this procedure. Thanks to my psychologist, I was able to find a insurance. He recommended me with this person, and that person helped me get my insurance. I didn't know how to start it. I was super young. I was super scared, and from there I started moving up. So definitely a psychologist, it's a must in your transition. I feel that it has helped me a lot. It has helped me in so many ways to just kind of like express myself, and kind of like getting everything out of myself and getting someone's advice. For you to start your hormone treatment, you have to be at least a year with the psychologist, and he has to provide you with a letter that you've been living your life as a female for 1 year. You've been in your consultation as well, and all these things that have to be really make sure that this is who you really are. And so it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna transition and I'm just gonna go from night to day, from boy to girl. No, like You have to go through a whole procedure. There's so many steps that you have to take in order for you to get in a place. When I started with going with him, there was like, I was thinking like, there's no way I'm gonna ever get there. There's no way I'm ever gonna proceed with any type of surgery. There's no way my insurance is gonna help me. Like, there was so many things negatively I would think of, because I would feel like that I would be so far away from that situation. But what's most important is that you have to have a lot of patience, because this takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of time. So please take slow, step by step. Don't rush. It took me a year to get the letter from the psychologist in order for me to start my hormone procedure, because they really have to. It's the law. It's kind of like the procedure that you have to go through. Once I got the letter, and I knew what doctor to go to, they recommended me with this doctor that here where I live, he does hormone therapy. So I went up to the clinic where I would do my treatment, and I was so anxious to start my treatment. I was like ready, I wanted to see changes. I wanted to see everything already, like in a heartbeat. And I remember that from that clinic I was denied. I was sent to another clinic with the same name but with a different location. They're like, oh no, we don't take that. We don't do that here, but I can recommend you with another clinic that does that. Okay then. So I go from that clinic to another clinic, and finally, I file some paperwork, and they do ask you so many questions, all like if you ever been sick, if you have like a heart disease, if you have asthma. You file all your paperwork that you're okay, that you're healthy. I had my consultation with the doctor. I remember that she asked me a couple questions, like a lot of questions actually. She asked me, how did I feel like inside, since at that time I was had full testosterone, and they asked me so many things in order for her to see what doses is good for your body. I'm a very small person. I am very petite, so she did tell me, I would say I was around 104 pounds at that time. If I recall, I was 104. And she asked me if I eat a lot, that if I do a lot of exercise or things like that, if I was very active because of my weight. And she said I was in a good weight, but that I had this treatment was going to slow down my metabolism, that it was going to make me gain weight, that at least from like the stomach a little bit and from like the hips, and it was going to make a lot of changes. So they did check. I remember they did me they took blood out, and they were going to check my testosterone levels. And I remember that she said that they were pretty high. My testosterone levels were pretty high. I started with estrogen pills because I didn't want to do the injection at that time. I was scared. I didn't know how to do it. She said I could do it myself, or I can have somebody do it for me. But since I didn't want to go through the whole struggling thing, and I didn't know how my body was going to react to it, I said pills was the best way to start it. So she said, okay, let's start with pills. When you finish your the first jar of pills, we'll take it from there, and then we'll see how it works on your body. Pills tend to damage a lot your liver. So the longer you have them, the worse it gets for your health. And it's same for injection. It has ups and downs, the injection on your body. Like they give you a list, and it says like it can give you problems with the heart or things like that, or your liver or things like that. So when you get the list, you're gonna see all the things that can make either in a good way or in a bad way to your body. I took those pills, and she explained me what was some of the changes that my body was gonna start going through She said that for her, in her opinion, the injections were more effective than the pills, and it will start giving my body faster transition than the pills did. So after a month, I believe she changed my doses to injections, and I mean it went pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, but she said that from what I heard, other people that went through the pill experience, they said that you have to drink a lot of water because your skin tends to get dry, and your mouth tends to get your lips tend to get dry and stuff like that. So I was pretty scared of it since of what they had told me already at the beginning, and I wasn't sure if I did the right thing, because I remember when I started taking the pills, I was just waiting on the effect, but I didn't see any bad effect on my body. So I was just looking every day for changes. But I remember that the doctor said that my body was gonna start to change slowly. Slowly, I mean that my body was gonna start to gain a little bit of weight. Not in a bad way, but I would say that she meant that my hips were gonna start going wider. I would start gaining more breast tissue. My nipples were gonna hurt, and my skin was gonna be soft. My hair reduction, it was gonna be slower. My hair for it to grow. My metabolism was gonna go down. She said that as long as I stay active, my metabolism should be okay, and I shouldn't be gaining a lot of weight. But if I wanted for myself, for my breasts to grow, I remember she told me that I had to eat more, because I was so skinny that I wouldn't gain any. I did gain tissue on the breast augmentation, but not as much like normally some other transgender, because of my size and because of my weight. 104 pounds, definitely I wasn't getting a lot of tissue there. But I feel that I was okay, I was happy with the results that I was seeing. She did mention, I remember the second time she did mention that my estrogen was still high, and she had to put a little bit higher my doses of estrogen, and this time it was going to be on injection. So that's when I start seeing more changes. That's when I start noticing that my nipples were hurting, and anything that were off my shirt, it was I don't know, I don't know how to explain the sensation. It was just if you would touch the nipple part, it was so sensitive that it would just hurt, and it would kind of give me don't hug me because it was that sensitive, or don't touch me, or if I were to bump into a wall or something and I would hit myself in the breast, clearly I wanted to cry because it was that sensitive. But I was very happy. I remember that when I got out of the doctor's consultation and she prescribed me my first prescription of hormones, and I went to Walmart to pick them up, I was so happy. I started thinking all on the way from the doctor to my house, just thinking so many things, and I was like, oh my god, this is the beginning. I was just on it, every day I would look in the mirror and start looking for changes, and you're not going to see changes right away. It's going to take a while, but I was so desperate just to see some changes. It's weird how the body starts reacting to your hormone change. Your body feels different. I was so emotional. Oh, that's a big thing too. When you start your hormone treatment, hormones make you the estrogen hormones make you feel very emotional. There was times where I felt super angry. There was times where I felt super mad. I cried sometimes. I wanted to I don't know, I felt like that plays a lot with your mind, those things. At first I didn't believe it. They were like, oh, you're gonna start feeling like this, like that, you're gonna everything that they tell you is gonna make you feel emotional. You're just gonna have to learn how to work with that. And I was just like, what? Like, no, I don't think so. Like, it should be okay. I should be okay. You just don't believe it because you haven't went through that. Like, when you start going through that, you see a lot of things and you understand a lot of things. So if you're like the type of person that grows a lot of hair in different parts of the body, you're gonna see how it starts to slow down when it starts growing back. You're gonna see how soft it feels when you shave certain parts of the body, and before it felt like all like the texture all like weird. And now like when you start taking hormones and you shave, your skin's like super soft. You feel like super it feels super good, you know. It makes us a lot of changes. A lot of places where they sell these things illegally, like on the internet and things like that. Don't buy those because you don't know what doses your body's gonna take. You don't know what amount you should be taking that's not gonna injure you in your future. Go with a provider. They're gonna check your testosterone levels and all of that, of course. I do recommend doing a lot of research and not buying anything just because you're already anxious to start your transition. There's a lot of bad things out there that people are selling, and there's a lot of people that go through so many painful things. Why? Because they didn't want to wait, or they didn't want to do the right way, so they rather go the fast way. And guess what? You're gonna eventually get harmed. You're gonna harm yourself and your health. So be careful. Don't be doing illegal stuff. And everybody's different, of course. I've seen some transgender people go through a faster results than others. I would say that for me, it took a little while. I noticed like changes in the skin, like the face, my face structure. I don't know if it was just me, like mentally, or I was just seeing like more feminine features. But it does change your features too in a way. I do recommend that if you're gonna start your home, try to start as soon as possible. But I do recommend that if you're like a young person, like, and you're younger than 18, talk to your parents. Try to get the approval of your parents and see if they can help you out. If it's possible for you and you have the help from your family. If not, it's okay. Everybody's at a different age. I started when I was 18. Around 18, 19, I started at that age. And so it takes time. In my opinion, I feel that if you really feel like you want your breasts to start growing and things like that, I would say gain a little bit of weight. Like in my experience, I didn't see a lot of, because I was very, like I said, I was very skinny. I'm still skinny, you know. So, but I'm gonna talk to you guys about that eventually. I had to get breast augmentation because my boobs weren't really growing. But I'll talk to you guys about that later in the future with some other talks that I'm gonna have with you guys. There's nothing wrong, you know. I mean, that's why there's cosmetic surgery if you want to do like breast augmentation. You know, you're gonna do face feminization. There's so many surgeries that you can do now for your transition, in order for you to look better, or you feel better, much better with yourself, of course. But I just wanted to tell you guys my experience with my hormone procedure and how difficult was it for me getting hormones. Now, I did struggle a lot with the providers that I had. Why? Because unfortunately, where I live, it's not very common to have a lot of doctors in that medical field. But they keep changing clinics. Some of the providers that I had, they keep changing clinics. So, like say my first provider, after a certain amount of time, she changed clinic. And I tried to get her back in a way, but I couldn't get her back because the clinic where she was working, my insurance wouldn't take her. It's not like you can go to every surgeon or to every medical place, because it has like certain places that you can go and certain places that you cannot go. And I know here it was pretty hard to find one. Change about three times with three different providers. There's been about I would say 3 to 4 providers that I already had here. Why? Because they keep changing clinics constantly, and it's a struggle because you have to look for a new one and a new hormone provider, and you have to see if they can do it or not. Or there's been times where I had to wait at least a couple months just to see if there's gonna be a provider for that clinic, and my insurance is gonna take it or not. I mean, it's just like sometimes it's like up and down, up and down. Maybe there's gonna be times where you're on hormones for a certain amount of time, but you're gonna have struggles with your insurance or with your providers. Hopefully, you don't have to go through that, but I have to go through some of those things. Am I still on hormones? Yes, I am on hormones still. Um, I I think that hormones do help out a lot your body. They make a lot of good changes. It's been giving me a lot of good changes on my body. Regardless of the surgeries that I had or whatever, I'm still on hormones. But the insurance that I do recommend is Medical Blue Cross. If you can't work with Medical, work with Blue Cross, and Anthem Blue Cross is gonna work with your transition in a way, and they can probably cover some of your transition as well. But maybe not all the way if you just work with them. But I'm sure they can help you out with the big part of your transition. But don't hesitate and don't wait on those hormones. Get to it now, guys. If you're a very sexual person as well, estrogen is gonna bring your sex drive down a lot. My provider, she told me that I was gonna feel like I didn't want to have any sex or anything. But I do recall, there was times where like that would even that's one of the things that some transgender patients decide not to take hormones because of the sex drive. But I feel like it wasn't that bad. I feel that definitely it does calm your sex drive. It does change a lot of perspectives in yourself. Mm, especially if you're like they change your doses super high or something, it does make a difference on your sex drive. But there's nothing to be scared of. Definitely your sex life is gonna change a lot. You're not gonna feel very sexual anymore. You're not gonna have that tension of sex desire or anything like that, because estrogen does calm your levels of testosterone, and that's gonna control it. Even after sex change and things like that, I still recommend you to be on hormones in order for your body to kind of be moving along, and since you're no longer producing like testosterone and things like that. But I do recommend you being on hormones. The effects that the estrogen will have me sometimes, it will be like sometimes I will feel so nauseous, and I knew that when I would get injected, I will feel that same day nauseous or something after for like a couple hours, or and it will go away like for the next day. But I don't know, my body just kind of like would get like kind of like nauseous when they got my doses higher, because I don't know if it was too strong. Also, the first time that you get this in your body, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. The texture of the testosterone is like very thick, and when they insert that inside you, it hurts a lot. It does, very painful. I couldn't move for a couple minutes, but it was because they inject it in the muscle part. I do it through the back, so they inject on the muscle of the booty, and I rather do it there than do it in the leg, because you have the option, you can do it in the leg or you can do it in the back, and I didn't want to do it myself, and So I would rather just do like a normal injection probably. I mean, with hormones, there's so much that you gonna learn, and it's gonna play a big role in your life. It's gonna make a big part of your transition. It's very important for you to start this. I know that once you start, you're gonna feel much better with yourself. Some people start their hormones and they don't necessarily have to go through the whole surgeries. They feel good with themselves, just with hormone procedures. And I mean, everybody's different, so you don't have to go through the whole surgeries if you don't want to. I mean, some people are satisfied with hormone therapy, and everybody's different. I'm happy to talk to you guys about this experience of myself going through that hormone procedure when I started. I know that some of you are gonna go through the same situation that I went through, and it's gonna be very happy. You guys are gonna feel very happy, very emotional when you guys start this. I know you can do it. If I did it, you can do it. There's no limitations, but there's a lot to fight for, and there's a lot of things that you have to go against in order for you to get there. Well, thank you so much, guys, for supporting my channel and for watching my video as well. I am so blessed to have you guys here watching this video. Well, that is all for today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video today. So please don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, guys.